On a regular day at the zoo, a young gorilla was being naughty in front of the visitors while his father watched. As soon as his dad stepped in, he quickly corrected his behaviour. In November 2017, visitors at TWI Cross Zoo in Leicestershire, England, got to see an amazing moment between two Western lowland gorillas. Umi, the big silverback gorilla, was resting from a busy day of collecting straw for his sleeping area. The sun was bright and he was enjoying it. People took photos, impressed by his muscular build and powerful look. For them, Umi was a prime example of a strong gorilla, but to someone, he was simply Dad. Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Gorillas and humans are very much alike in their DNA and show similar behaviours. So, like how kids sometimes enjoy bothering their parents, Umi's sons, Shufi and Lope, thought it was time to disturb their dad's peaceful break. As young gorillas, playing was their whole world. They spent their days full of energy, running around, chasing each other and making noise. They were happy to play together, letting their mum and dad handle the grown-up stuff. But on that day, they wanted their dad to join in their fun. The zoo staff quickly caught the cheeky glance shared between the brothers as they eyed their dozing dad, scheming their next mischief. The workers pulled out their smartphones, eager to capture what they expected to be a touching scene among the gorillas. Shufi stayed back a bit, but his big brother Lope dared to get closer to their father. As Umi tried to snatch a moment of rest, Lope invaded his personal bubble, pretending to inspect that part of their home with great interest. It was clear to everyone that he was just trying to bug his dad, who opened and closed his eyes a few times as if thinking, "Of all places, you choose to stand here?" It seems parents can't ever escape their kids' antics, and gorilla dads are no exception. Yet, Umi responded with the calmness he's known for. Despite his imposing figure, he let out a soft grunt that sounded almost like a laugh at his son's behaviour, showing he understood the playful nature of youth. Some onlookers mentioned he even shook his head in a way any human dad might when dealing with such silliness. Maybe he realised that sometimes the best way to handle a pesky kid is to just let them be. Yet, Lope wasn't discouraged. He hopped around Umi, moving swiftly and lightly like a shadow in a playful mood, trying hard to grab his dad's attention. Umi remained still with his eyes shut and kept calm, hoping Lope would find something else to entertain himself with. But Lope became more daring as time went on, inching closer to his dad and interrupting his peaceful rest. Umi was known to the zoo staff as a gentle giant, yet they were aware he could become upset suddenly. Despite his usually calm nature, he was still a wild creature and the head of his group. Irritation appeared in his eyes when Lope approached even closer and began to tear up grass nonchalantly. Umi then opened his eyes, focusing entirely on Lope as they looked at each other in silence. This moment had evolved from simple play to a challenge of limits. It was as though he was telling him, "That's enough, little one." But like all young ones, regardless of the species, Lope didn't recognise when to stop. He was determined to provoke a response from his father, not realising he was about to receive a memorable one. As the young gorilla turned away from his father, pretending to find the ideal place for a stretch, his younger brother Shufi peeked from the enclosure's entrance. To the zoo staff, it seemed he was checking if his older brother had pushed the limits too far. The younger one glanced between Lope and Umi, then slipped back into the enclosure's safety, possibly sensing his father's growing impatience. Lope stepped back briefly, only to return to the very spot chosen by Umi for his interrupted rest. That's when Lope got the reaction he had been seeking. The imposing silverback exhaled sharply and stood up, leaving his resting place for a short stroll. It seemed he was trying to collect himself before reacting too strongly in front of the spectators. And he might have let the incident slide if his sons hadn't chosen to tail him once more. It appeared Umi wouldn't be getting any rest or solitude that day. But when his brief attempt at relaxation on the grass was disturbed yet again, Umi decided he had tolerated enough. With a rapid movement that just allowed his son to dodge in time, he charged across the enclosure, displaying the full extent of an adult silverback's fury. The spectators at the zoo were on edge, curious about what Umi would do next. Just a few weeks before, the zoo staff had posted a video showing Umi jumping at his partner and sons during a fit of rage. The video wasn't meant to show Umi in a negative light, but to remind people that, despite their often calm nature, gorillas remain untamed animals with natural instincts. So there they stood, expecting Umi to turn on his sons and discipline them. Yet, Umi chose not to punish his kids for their playful misconduct. They were already frightened enough. Indeed, little Shui was darting away from his dad, maybe towards his mom's comforting arms or the enclosure's safety. Stopped in his tracks by his father's reaction, Lope trembled, clearly surprised. A soft sound of worry slipped out, and he realized his pranks had gone too far. Disturbed, Lope quickly gave his father the space he had wanted all along. Looking at Umi, the silent conversation between them was profound, showing understanding yet a trace of stubbornness. As his urge to play calmed down, Lope showed a newfound respect, his attitude mellowed by the important lesson he just learned. With a slight headshake, he walked away from Umi, looking for comfort and possibly a different way to draw his father's attention in the future. As Umi enjoyed his peace at last, Lope joined his brother Shufi to play. Together, they found a new game, their fun filling the space with laughter and happiness. Yet, the remarkable encounter between Umi and Lope quickly became a hit on social media. The video spread fast, sparking significant discussions online. People from various backgrounds commented on Umi's approach to parenting. Some were entertained, noting the similarities between human and gorilla family dynamics. Others raised concerns about the survival of gorillas in their natural environments, emphasizing the challenges their habitats face and the critical need for conservation measures. As the story captured hearts worldwide, TWI Cross Zoo found itself at the center of this touching saga showcasing gorilla family life. Located in the peaceful countryside of Leicestershire, England, the zoo had long been celebrated for its diverse wildlife collection, with a special focus on primates. The adventure with the gorillas started in 2009 with the arrival of 3 female Western lowland gorillas named Dante, Biddy and Ozawa, the latter being notably born at TWI Cross, symbolizing a crucial step in the zoo's efforts towards conservation and securing a hopeful future for the species. The dynamics changed when Umi, a silverback, joined TWI Cross Zoo 3 years post the arrival of the females, bringing a wave of anticipation among everyone at the zoo for what was to come. Umi and Ozawa paired up, and in January 2013, they welcomed their son Lope, followed by Shufi's arrival on September 24, 2016. Each birth greeted with immense joy and fascination by the zoo staff and visitors alike, charmed by their tiny, curious natures. From the outset, Umi's sons were under his watchful eye, imitating his actions and absorbing lessons daily, growing under his supervision. As Lope and Shufi matured, their playful nature not only entertained but also endeared them to onlookers, their energy unfailingly bringing smiles. However, beneath the surface of these joyful moments, a profound connection was developing between Umi and his sons. Umi, both gentle and authoritative, was molding Lope and Shufi's bold spirits, leading them with patience and affection through the intricacies of their existence. The episode of Umi's charge, a consequence of their playful disturbance, served as a soft yet firm lesson on the importance of boundaries and respect within their family unit. Although startled at first, Lope and Shufi absorbed the lesson quickly. Through such instances of guidance and gentle correction, Umi was sculpting their personalities, embedding in them the virtues of toughness and understanding critical for their future roles as leaders within their communities, upholding harmony and providing direction to their own families. On a different day, Shufi ended up on the receiving end of his father Umi's serious look, sparked by an unexpected shift in Ozawa's condition. Normally full of life and energy, Ozawa started eating less and seemed tired, worrying the zookeepers about her health. To get a clearer understanding, they separated her from her family for a closer look. The vets breathed a sigh of relief when they found out Ozawa was only dealing with a fever, common yet potentially serious if ignored. They quickly got to work, treating her with the right medicines to ensure a fast recovery. Soon, the treatment started to work, and Ozawa began to regain her usual vigor, her weakness giving way to her familiar spirit. But even with her health improving, the vets decided she should rest a bit more before getting back to her family activities. A few days on, they felt it was time for Ozawa to rejoin her family, even though she still needed to take it easy. Walking back into the enclosure, the sight and sounds of her home welcomed her warmly, offering comfort and a bit of normalcy after her time away. Upon her return, her sons were quick to show their joy, surrounding her with love and soft sounds of welcome. Ozawa responded with equal affection, her motherly love in full display as she hugged her sons, their playful energy a reminder of what she had missed. Lope and Shufi seemed to sense their mom wasn't up to their usual antics. Picking up on her need for peace, they toned down their playfulness, choosing to be by her side in calm solidarity rather than engaging in their typical energetic pranks, showing a softer side of their bond in her presence. However, the pause in Shufi's mischief was brief. During a lively game of chase with Lope, Shufi's enthusiasm accidentally caused him to bump into Ozawa, knocking her off her feet. This left Ozawa visibly shaken and upset, struggling to stand up again. Umi, always vigilant, saw what happened and immediately reacted. He stood up with a low, warning growl, his fatherly instincts fully awakened. He looked sharply at Shufi, his eyes conveying deep disapproval and a silent reminder of the lessons Shufi had yet to learn. Surprised by his father's serious look, Shufi stopped laughing, suddenly aware of his mistake. Feeling guilty, he moved to a quiet spot in the enclosure, his gaze downcast, reflecting on his actions. The usually lively young gorilla became quiet, pondering over his rash actions and the effects they had. In that quiet moment, Shufi promised himself to be more careful, aiming to regain his father's respect through respectful and careful behavior. Umi, realizing Shufi was just young and naturally energetic, forgave him not long after. Despite the slip-ups, the love and value his parents placed on him remained unchanged. With Ozawa back to her healthy self, life for the gorilla family at TWI Cross Zoo returned to its vibrant rhythm. No longer held back by illness, they flourished in their green habitat, their relationships deepening through the challenges and experiences they shared. But beyond the daily activities of the zoo, the memory of Umi's parenting moments with Lope and Shufi lingered in the minds of staff and visitors, leaving a lasting impression. This story of a small gorilla's innocent blunder and the resulting family dynamics touched many hearts. It prompts us to reflect on our own humorous or enlightening parenting moments. What are your memorable parenting stories? Feel free to share them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.